guys are supposed to go if you're unscripted number 4. I had barely any sleep last night, so I thought, hey, what a good time to sit down, talk to the camera, and post all of what I said on the internet while I was sleep deprived. So here we go. So, you know how people flirt? You know, they get like a little flirt going on. I call it a flirt. I like it sound like that. Make it less serious. Hey, we're getting on our flirt, you know. So I tried to practice my flirting, and I'm not really good at it, it seems. When I try to flirt with someone, it's like blowing a dog whistle to get a deaf dog's attention. That dog is not going to respond to the dog whistle because it's deaf. So my flirting is the equivalent of that. My flirting is the equivalent of going up to a deaf guy and asking him if he heard the Amber Alert. He didn't hear it. Okay? He did not hear the Amber Alert. So this girl I've been friends with for a couple of years, she sent like a really pretty photo, man. She looked so pretty in that photo. And I was like, man, she looked majestic as shit. She looked like a unicorn that took a shit. Like, it's good. It looks beautiful. It's like, wow. So I decided, you know what? She sent a really pretty photo. Maybe I should say something here. So here was my flirting skill. I texted, "You're not hot." I said that. I texted, "You're not hot," and I sent the message through. That was my way of flirting. But I was working on the second half of the message. So when she opened the chat, she just saw, "You're not hot," replying to her photo. Dude, and I was like, no, what did I do? So she takes like, okay, I think she said. Very humble, very humble. And while I was working on the second half, I ended up sending the second half when it was done. It took like maybe a minute of thought. And I said, "You're not hot because hot is bad. Because it's like fire, and fire hurts. But you're beautiful because you're not fire that hurts," or some I don't know what the fuck I was going on about. Her trying to read that was probably the equivalent of trying to listen to that one kid who could barely read, but the teacher made him read in front of the class anyway. And he was also, for some reason, the only kid that would raise his hand because no one else wanted to read. So you had to sit through it and be like, I don't even know what the story's about anymore. I hope we don't have an assignment on this, because that kid couldn't read for anything. So she was probably reading my text. She had no clue what it meant. So she said, "I don't know whether that's a compliment or an insult." And I can see where she's coming from, right? Because it sounds like I just said, "You're ugly." Or I said, "You're not hot." So it sounds like I just said, "You're ugly." And then I went on about how hot is bad. And I just kind of went off philosophical with it, too. So she didn't end up flirting back. There was nothing. I told her, I said, "Listen, man, I don't know what I just said. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about." Speaking of doing social things like talking to people, not just flirting, just like normal talking to people, there's a lot of people that like to talk to me. And I do like to talk to them too, but for some reason, I much prefer to want to talk to the people who want nothing to do with me. Not the people who definitely don't want to talk to me. Those are the people who want to talk to the most. The most. I don't know why that is. And it's kind of like self-sabotaging in a way. Because then I'm like, why? Why do I want to talk to the people who definitely don't want to talk to me? Like, why am I doing that? That's the equivalent of a lactose intolerant person loving and craving milk at all times. It's like it's self-destructive. You know, after you drink that milk, you're just gonna crap yourself. You're gonna crap all over the place. Stop it. You're gonna have a tummy ache. You're gonna have to take some Gravel or something. Gravel's like the stomach medication, right? I don't know. I don't think I ever took Gravel, but maybe like when I was like way young. I don't think I ever took it. I used to get car sick when I was younger. It kind of just went away. A lot of kids have that. A lot of kids get car sick, man. It's kind of inconvenient. If you've ever been on a road trip with your family and one of your siblings or your cousins, they get car sick. It makes a whole ride uncomfortable because now you're wondering if they're going to puke on you any moment. You know, you're playing like Candy Crush on your phone or just some like game that you downloaded on your phone that you looked up on the App Store that was playable offline. You don't even care if it's good or not. Just something to get you through the long car ride. And your cousin or your brother or your sister's next to you and they're like, I don't feel good. And it's like, dude, like, you just made me make the wrong move in Candy Crush because you won't stop your whining. And if you puke on me right now, I'm going to lose it. Let me talk about this as well. There's one thing that I've never really understood until I understood it. So, for example, like my parents would drive for a long time, right? My dad would be going somewhere, my mom would be going somewhere, and they would be taking a long drive, and then they'd get back home. And they would say, I just need to take a seat. What do you mean you just need to take a seat? You've been in your car all day sitting down. And you come inside and you complaining, I can't talk right now. Hold on, let me just take a seat. You been sit. That was the whole problem, is it not? You just went from one seat to another saying you need to sit. But I understood it. I was in like a 6-hour road trip, okay? And after I got out of the car, like my whole body hurt. Like my back, my booty, everything kind of hurt. And then I got out and I said the words and I regret saying it so much because it's one of those times where it's like, oh, that's why your parents were saying that. I got up and I said, oh, I just need to take a seat. And I sat down. I felt so much better. So I guess moving from your car seat to another seat is a lot better, which makes me want to make the complaint. Yo, people who make cars, make the car seats better. Who cares about the electric cars? Who cares about the cars that aren't electric? How about we just make car seats? Who cares if the car even runs? Make some car seats that are comfortable. I know there used to be this one dude in one of these old complexes I used to live in. And he had an abandoned car. But it was like taking up a parking space, but no one ever used it. I don't know, but it was a nice little abandoned car. Nothing worked in it. And when we were like 10, I was like, yo, dude, where do you want to hang out? It's a nice summer day. And he was like, yo, you got to check this car out, man. It's my car, but it don't work. You want to investigate? So we kind of went in there and we just kind of sat in his car. And that abandoned car, I'll just call it abandoned. That abandoned car had the most comfortable seats that me and him and a couple of other friends would just go into that car and hang out. In the car. Man, I tell you, I could sit in that car for 8 hours and be fine. So I don't know why it is that any car since then has been absolutely horrible. I don't know how an abandoned, not being taken care of car has better seats than a car that's in working condition. It was leather seats, I think. So maybe the leather had something to do with it. Maybe leather seats are the way to go. But man, you don't want to be shirtless or you don't want to be wearing shorts or something. If it's been like a really hot day and you get in the car and it's like some leather seats, oh my gosh. Yeah, buddy. You're done. You sit down. What is that? Turns out the car seat is at like boiling level temperature. Same with metal water slides. Whose idea was that? Or not metal. That is pretty stupid. But park slides. Metal park slides. Who decided that was a good idea? Okay, when do kids go to the park mostly? During the hot times of the year. Do we want something that the sun will attach to really hard and make extremely hot with no way to cool down until nighttime? Or do we want a plastic slide? Let's make a metal slide. Why? I remember I wanted to go down a metal slide, and I was a kid, right? So you don't even know temperatures. You just know it's a hot day, but you think the metal slide is 50-50 chance it's going to be hot on any day. So I go down that metal slide. It's, I feel like my skin is burning off as I go down the slide. Jano! I don't know, what is that? What is that? And I'm not the only kid that did. After that, for some reason, another kid would come along and go down the metal slide. It's not that bad. Ah! And you just start screaming. I told you it was that bad. It's a metal slide in like 40-degree weather. Why is that a thing? That shouldn't be a thing. On another note, I've been enjoying making music. That's something I've been doing. As you see, the last 2 videos I posted were music videos, or I mean just songs in general, which are not the best, but I'm kind of just trying to get out the bare minimum horrible ones, so that way, when I actually start to make good music, my good music looks amazing compared to what I used to make. You see where I'm going with that? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. It's kind of like acne. Acne before you use some acne cream, acne after you use some acne cream, which is usually the same for me, by the way. Some people, they get this whole glow up. If I did a model's routine on my face every day to try and look smooth, I'd still have acne on it. Now, my acne ain't that horrible, but I got a lot of scarring. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I'll be sitting there. And then I'll be like, what am I doing? I'm picking my face. I'll be like, dude, I told myself I'm not going to pick my face anymore, and I'm doing it. And I'm doing it in a way my brain thinks that if it picks the acne off, it's going to go away. But in reality, it's just going to scar and stay there for like a long time. Why am I doing that? I don't know why I am doing that. And I think maybe I'm touching my face a lot more than I think I am. And that's why I'm getting a lot of acne. But sometimes, sometimes my brain just go on autopilot, and I'm just kind of like, people call it locked in. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just am kind of going with it. Like, I'll be playing a video game, and I'll be so in the game that, man, I could even pick my nose and eat my booger, and I wouldn't even know I did it because I'm so locked in it. By the way, when's the last time you ate a booger? Think about that. I thought about it recently, and it actually wasn't too long ago I ate a booger. Now you guys are gonna think I'm weird, but I was sitting there a couple months ago, I think in the summertime, and I said to myself, man, I haven't ate a booger in so long. So I picked my nose and I tried it out. I wanted to see if when I was younger, like if I get some sort of nostalgia from it or something, or I'd lock some superpower. And surprised, like if you eat your boogers really don't taste like anything. It's just a weird texture. I feel like when I was younger, my boogers used to taste like something, and now my boogers don't really taste like anything anymore. And so that is kind of sad. Like, you lose a part of childhood. You lose something that I guess you're not going to be able to take with you, which is kind of sad about that. I would prefer if my boogers tasted like something. And even if they did, I'm not saying I would eat them all the time. It would just be nice to know when I was a kid, my boogers tasted good. They still do today. And you could even use that as like maybe you can use that as a flirting line. Hey girl, I let you eat my boogers because I'd let you do it. I don't know. That's my flirting skills. I gotta do something better or something. I'm not really good at flirting because I always find it kind of corny and cringy. It's like, can I just say I like you and you're like, I think you're cute too, and then we'll just like stick with that? Like, what's with all these games we gotta play? But I guess some people exclusively have to flirt first, and it's very weird when it happens to me, because they'll like say like a flirtatious joke, and I'll take it totally seriously. But I think some people is flirting with me when they're not. Anyway, before I end the video, I want to talk about structure and how building structure is helping me in life. Right? Just learning how to do that. Get up in the morning, make your bed. Get up after you make your bed, brush your teeth, have your coffee, go for a walk. And I heard some like country dude say this. I think it's a Dry Creek Wrangler School, and I think he said this. And he said, he said, start your day before it starts you. I think he said that. If not, I'm making him sound really wise. So, just take that. And that's really good advice. Like, instead of just letting your day just start your day. Make your day, like, have some sort of purpose. Like, maybe the purpose is tomorrow. What are you waiting for after your walk in the morning? Well, you're waiting for tomorrow's walk, right? And that'll really help you get through the day sometimes if you can. I'm not saying I'm depressed or nothing, but I'm saying that, like, I can see how it can help people like that. Me personally, I'm lacking a lot of structure. I do a lot of things during the day. I play bass guitar. I make my other music. I play video games. I do my online stuff, my online credits. I then also kind of do this stuff where I sit and talk to the camera in my mom's passenger seat of the car. But it's kind of all like jumbled, like it's all over the place. Because, classic me with my ADHD, it's kind of just all over the place. But trying to put some structure into that is going to be very good. It's very good to have structure, I think. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.